Hello and welcome to Chasing Green Arrows. My name is Andy, FPL Team Mode, and we are going to be looking at my team score this week, and we're also going to be looking at some strategies and some tactics we're going to be using looking at Gameweek 10. Do you know what? Looking at my whole team, I'm actually not that upset with my whole team. 74 points. I took a hit this week, so it was only 70. But I know a lot of people that didn't captain Salah that got a lot less than that. So I'm not actually too annoyed with the rest of my team. The biggest thing that happened this week was obviously my captaincy. So I went with Havertz. I still feel like the decision was a good one. I thought that Havertz was going to be playing up top. I thought Chelsea were going to ruin Norwich, which they did. They won 7-0. To think that Havertz was the only player in that starting 11 that didn't get a return is just, you couldn't even write that, could you, to be perfectly honest? So, yes, and I actually thought that Liverpool game was going to be tighter than it was. I didn't expect United to look quite as shambolic as they did. If I had that opportunity again, 70 times out of 100, I'd still go with Havertz. It's just the fact that the swing was so massive. So for the fact that Salah managed to get 3 goals and an assist and Havertz did nothing is obviously quite painful. But I am quite good now at looking at it and thinking, did I make a bad decision? And I don't think I made a bad decision. I just think I was punished massively for it. And what I won't do, I won't look at this now and think, right, I'm not going to take another risk throughout the season. This is 9 game weeks in. It's my first big risky play I've done. Another time, it happens the other way around, and I come out smelling no roses. So there's going to be more opportunities. There's probably going to be 3 or 4 more opportunities in the season for me to do something like this, and I've got to keep doing it because at some point it's going to pay off, especially in the double game weeks, things like that, it will pay off. So yes, it hurts this week, but does it hurt moving forward? No. Just wipe it clean and just think to yourself, actually, it happens. It's absolutely fine. Let's just go forward and try and get a bit better as I move forward, hopefully. Slightly disappointed, I guess. I mean, when you look at it, I wanted Cancelo. He's playing every game now. He gets forward. He's one of the only defenders in the game that is a bit like Alonso, where he will literally be in the box every week for you. So the ceiling is always so high for him. I think the thing that makes me feel a little bit better at the moment is that they only conceded because Ederson just had a bit of a mind blank and decided to tackle, I think it was Mopai in the box, I can't remember who it was now, and obviously give away the penalty. Apart from that, they didn't really look like conceding. I do still want that City defender in my team. I think that's absolutely fine. I think anybody that's got a City defender, don't now go off them. If I know a lot of people had Diaz, and obviously he got subbed, started as a sub a couple of weeks ago and now only got a 2-pointer, but the ceiling's so high for them and you can trust them. So I don't see any reason why anybody should be moving off City defenders. Yeah, that is exactly why. And I've spoken a lot recently, actually, about reliable assets in the game, and there aren't many. There aren't many reliable assets. Salah is obviously reliable, but he's going to be now captained by pretty much everybody every week. So we're looking at kind of 200% EO for him most weeks. Obviously not 200%, just a little bit below that. But you're looking at it and thinking, well, where else can I look for reliability in my team? We can't trust Ronaldo. We can't trust Lukaku. Even players like Son, Kane, KDB, they're not reliable either. We get some fairly reliable people in that mid-range bracket, which means we've got a lot of money to spend. I've got 5.5 million in the bank at the moment, and I'm looking and thinking, can I actually upgrade Christensen to Chilwell? Because Chilwell's that high upside player. And all of a sudden, I'm looking at my team and thinking, God, I've got a lot of money in defence, but they're so reliable at the moment. Players like Cancelo, Diaz, Chilwell, Rudiger, even someone like Christensen, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Robertson. All of a sudden, you're looking at these players and thinking they're being used in such a way for their teams that they're getting forward, they're getting assists, getting goals as well. And when you look as well and think that Livramento is under 4.5 million and he's being very reliable as well, it makes you think that putting those funds into defence is not a bad idea, as long as you're happy playing 4 at the back most weeks. Yeah, I think captaining Salah, I think everybody's going to do, and I think they should do as well. Against Brighton, he is probably best player in the world at the moment based on form, not just in the league. So, yeah, I think that's absolutely fine. I'm looking at that triple Chelsea, and like I said, I've looked at Christensen and just thought he's probably going to play this week because he got rested. And he is, really, I would say first choice for Chelsea as well. If you can choose 2 Chelsea defenders this week, I think you'd be quite happy against Newcastle. The big thing I'm looking at this week is whether to get in a City attacker, because I don't have one in. Foden is top of my list at the moment. So I think I'm going to be trying to get Phil Foden in. And the more I do that, the more I look at it and think I'm basically going to have double Chelsea, triple Chelsea, double City, double Liverpool, which I don't think looks that bad moving forward. They're usually teams we struggle with rotation, but actually this year, I think we can start picking players that we know are going to be playing most weeks, and Foden seems to be getting into that bracket now. So a nailed Foden in an attacking City team, I think, is definitely going to be high on my priority list. Yeah, so if you've had a bit of a tough week, I mean, I had a tough week. I moved from just outside of 200k to 500k. So I had a tough week this week, but it's so early. Like, genuinely, it's so early. And the biggest thing I always say to people is that the more weeks that go on, the more people stop playing. And if you're one of those people that doesn't stop playing and just keeps playing, keeps making sensible moves, you will move up the ranks. It will happen. And if you save those chips for the double game weeks, you will see big rises towards the end of the season, because people won't plan, they won't have players in for the blanks, and they won't have good players in for the doubles either. So just keep playing, keep being sensible. If you feel like you need to take a bit of a step away, that is a really good idea to do. Just wait till Friday, make your moves on Friday, and just be sensible. Don't go chasing, loads of points. Don't go taking loads of hits. And the other thing is as well, and I saw this on Twitter recently, was somebody saying that if you're outside top 500k at the moment, you need to be looking elsewhere instead of captaining Salah. And I could not agree less with that. Still captain Salah and try and get differentials around the rest of your team. If you try and go against Salah, which a lot of people did this week, that is when you see the big rank drop. So captain Salah and make sure the rest of your team is looking okay, because a lot, like I said, Salah's going to be almost close to 200% EO at the moment. So you do not want to be going wrong with that. Just look elsewhere, stay sensible, and you will be absolutely fine. So thank you very much for listening. Those have been my thoughts on Game Week 9, good and bad, unfortunately. And obviously, starting to think about Game Week 10 as well, and what I'm thinking moving forward. This has been Chasing Green Arrows. Thank you very much for listening. Make sure you like and subscribe, because it really does help, guys. I've been Andy, FPL Team Mode, and hopefully they'll be seeing you next week.